Future trading involves risk and is not suitable for all investors. Content provided in this segment is meant for educational purposes and is not a solicitation to buy or sell commodities.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Tech Talk. I am Cody. He is Andy. Together we make up the Tech Talk team. And today we've got some pretty interesting charts coming your way that we actually looked at last time.
We did look at last time, but I got to tell you something. Right now, this is a really special day. If the camera panned this way, Paige would be in the shot. I'm sitting next to Paige in the office. It doesn't get any better than this.
It doesn't get any better. Paige is here live and in person.
Live. Whoa. Whoa.
The person who makes everything at Ever.Ag run smoothly.
It's like I mean, man behind the curtain, woman behind the curtain. The curtain, like you and I are the curtain. This is where it's at right here. So
that's where all the action
very
happens.
Fortunate here. So yeah, I mean, hey, you're in Michigan right now. Sorry, dude. I tell you to drive here, but are you going to be able to see anything?
It's a little smoggy out there for everybody right now.
Out there. What did you say earlier? You went outside yesterday and you went like this, and it started a fire because of all the ash in your hand.
You could feel a little debris in between the palms yesterday. You might even today.
Wait, yeah, Chicago. They put out a notice that we have the worst air quality in the world yesterday, or something like that. In the world, it's crazy.
Well, you're going to have that on those big jobs.
What are you going to do?
What are you going to do?
Should we talk about charts instead of air?
I guess so.
Paige,
first one.
Can we talk about charts?
Yeah.
Paige nodded. Yeah. Nope. There we go. Yep. Chart time.
CME Weekly Cheese.
Yikes. What do you think here?
We hit on this one. We hit on this one last week.
Could we? Okay.
We did.
What do you think?
Well, we were at $1.40 yesterday. We're at $1.35 today.
Mm-hmm.
You have that line drawn at about $1.30. Looks like
the top. So are you talking about this this little right here?
The one that you just moved, the bottom line there.
Yeah. So I'm trying to find the high of that. Right, is where you'd want to have it drawn.
Yep.
It's about 129-ish. Yeah, call it 129.
Looks like a quick trip
to that.
So
that'd be another 6 cents lower, basically, right? And you'd go and fill that gap.
I mean, I think, what did we do yesterday? 5 cents?
About that, yeah. Yeah, no, it is what it is. And it's interesting is the futures, they continue to maintain this big premium, right, out forward. And so futures, let's just take a quick peek here. So Ocno D's on average about $1.85. So, futures are saying the cash market's more like right here, or should be about right around here. Right. A lot of time between now and the fourth quarter, obviously, right? But I mean, it is what it is. To your point, you've got this gap here. This is the lowest, assuming we close here, right? So this is a week.
Right.
What day is today? Wednesday. We usually do this on Thursday.
Correct.
Wednesday.
Day earlier.
Hump day.
Yep.
All right. Fair enough. So yeah, no, I mean, if we get it close here, this would be obviously pretty weak. But then you'd want to be super mindful of this little guy right there too. We created a gap to start this candle out.
Or you could look at it on the other side and say, hey, we have another gap at $1.20 cheese right below there.
That hurts.
Right?
You're not wrong. I mean, this is that wicked move we had back in COVID, right? Where every restaurant in the country shut down, and then the U.S. government paid $3 a pound for cheese promptly after that. So,
exactly.
Yeah, I mean, if we get a close here, especially, even if we just sat here for the rest of the week, this would be a very weak candle. And you're right. I think this gap gets filled, or, you got to try.
Yeah.
Fundamentally, it doesn't seem like there's much, it seems like it's a big demand equation, or demand function is the real issue here, right? And it's pretty evident how much volume we continue to trade on the CME. So I guess until that changes, I mean, you're susceptible to more weakness here, and especially in the futures, we already looked at how big some of these premiums are. So there's a big difference between where the spot is and where the futures are.
For sure.
So, but you're saying gap. Dude, there's a lot of gaps here.
There is another one down there at $1.10, and I didn't want to mention that one, but you pointed it out.
Yeah, I mean, you love gaps, though.
Absolutely.
I guess something to be mindful of is how, again, there was a significant government presence here that forced this V bottom. But, if you look at our price relative to the rest of the world, if we keep declining and the rest of the world just kind of holds steady between $1.75 to $1.90-ish, right, and then where you're at, you got to think we're going to see some sort of V bottom type activity. I think you got to be really careful of that, because especially we've noticed what cold storage continues to decline year over year. So should we see any sort of big pickup in demand because of super low prices, it may be a little bit harder to be able to supply that cheese if there isn't enough cheese sitting around in cold storage. So we'll see. I mean, right here, right now, we get it close here. That's weak. It looks like it wants to go try to fill this gap. So I don't know. Any closing thoughts for the cheddar?
It's looking pretty weak. Like you said, I mean, it looks like those gaps want to go get filled
Pronto, says Cody. Speaking of pronto, let's take a look at your favorite.
Bum, bum, bum. Dec Corn. Talk about a wicked move. Oof.
The inverted bottom. What do you want to call that? It's like a house?
Yeah, I was going to say a wicked steeple, but
steeple.
Man.
I wonder if we could like coin that and make it like, put it in like a charting software. The wicked steeple formation.
I think, didn't last week when we talked about this, weren't we on our way up just above $6, if I'm looking back correctly?
Don't remember the last time we looked at it, but for sure.
I mean, look at the movement in this thing.
Yeah. What's interesting is that this is today. What time is it? 9:45, yep. Wednesday Central. So there's still obviously a few hours left in the trade, but you've broken this upward trend that was that was chugging along here.
Right.
What's interesting too is that you had a clear, overbought territory down here. Cross back below it, that's a bearish indicator, secondary, right? And it's really maintaining that. And so a lot of times you can actually see like trends within these types of indicators, right? And so this was like a clear uptrend between middle of May and end of June on this, but that has been broken. So it suggests that it wants to go into thus oversold territory, which would be the blue line. And then you also have momentum that's starting to get back down below, or approaching zero. If it crosses zero in the negative territory, that's also another bearish, like secondary indicator.
As you said, it's 9:45 Central Time. We've gone through the 200-day, 100-day, 20-day, and bounced off the 50-day moving average, which I can look and looks like that's your orange line right there.
Yes, sir.
That's happened in the past 2 trading sessions, and it's only 9:45 Central Time.
Yeah, it looks weak. I mean, it looks, well, you get a close here, right? So it closes through, right. Opens lower tomorrow, or I guess tonight, right? But then,
and again, we're going to mention it. There is a gap there at 533. Right? So get it closed down there, hit that gap, close below the gap, and it looks like possibly a quick trip down to $5 again, where we were, a month ago?
Yeah,
not even.
Not right. Less than that. You're like gap-tastic today.
Dude, there's a lot of gaps on these charts. Just a lot of...
That's a lot of volatility flying around here.
Oh, yeah, you want to talk about a volatility market. This one has been a wicked one the past month.
Wicked. Gap-tastic, though. That could be a title at some point. I don't know if it's going to be today's title, but
someday.
I'm going to have to write that down. Hang on, Paige. Let me write that down. How would you GAP? GAPTASTIC. Did I tell you, Paige, I won a spelling bee when I was a kid?
No way.
Yeah. So I'm a speller. All right. So you think we're going to go fill that gap, maybe get down a low $5 and see what happens?
I do. I was going to say, what would you do with this chart looking at it right now?
That's a tough one, right? I mean, I think you, at this point, if you had no position on, you have to wait to see how this thing closes. If you get it close below this line and then open lower tomorrow, I think you have to sell it and then just be mindful of how it trades at that gap you pointed out. It's not that far away. Right. So, but still, like there could be 10, 15 cents in it. Right. But yeah, no, that would be a pretty weak close plus open lower if we did that.
Right.
I'll tell you what's not going lower.
These fats.
Bull flag fats.
Ouch.
Yikes. So I think it was Cole that pointed this one out internally. I was talking about you had potential M, but then as soon as you had, let's just blow this up a little bit, shall we? Here we go. As soon as you had this right there, right? So you had multiple bounces and then just a clear like rejection of trying to get through, because bull flags typically are descending triangles that break out, right? And so you had a clear attempt to break out to the downside and then rejected, right? That was it right there. And then since then, you have managed to break out of this and create this, flag type formation. And typically the way you like it from like a measurement standpoint, we didn't touch this from last time we looked at it, right? So from a measurement standpoint, you would just simply take where it broke out from to the top and then lay it back on top where it broke out from the next time. Does that make sense?
So you're taking it from, if I'm looking at it correctly, $1. What are we at? 170 to 180.
You would start where just kind of pick a point where you feel like it broke out from, right?
Okay.
And then you take that and measure it to the top of the move, which in this case, let's get precise here, shall we? Is that high right there? So 182.85. So from 173, basically, it's what is this? $10? 172.82 to 182.85.
Right.
Yeah. So you just add basically $10, if I'm quoting that correctly, to where it breaks out from right around here. So it's about 188.5.
Okay.
It's the distance of the flagpoles where you'd want to measure the next move to. So yeah, Cole internally asked about it, crushing it. Maybe we should have him as a guest.
I think so.
I wonder what
So
Is the Hammer buying this, by the way? What's going on?
Oh, absolutely. Sorry, I forgot about that.
Whoa.
Hammer hasn't.
It's like you were.
We haven't had much to buy lately, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, the Hammer's gonna buy it. Like
We haven't had much to buy, ladies and gentlemen. The Dec Fat Cattle, definitely a buy.
buy it. All right. On that,
I think I just cracked my desk.
you cracked
Anyway.
the desk.
Whoops. Okay. Well, I'm sorry.
What are you gonna do? Another one.
All right. Well,
Fat Cattle, and then go buy a desk.
dude, you're gonna have to here pretty
There
soon.
you go. All right.
Awesome. All right, everybody. Well, that's going to do it for another episode of Tech Talk with myself, Andy, and the always amazing Miss Paige Driscoll, who is in office today.
In office.
And if anyone has not yet, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Give us a thumbs up. Give us a like. Be a friend. Tell a friend about the show. Have them jump on here. Shoot us some emails with different charts that you want to look at, and we will be happy to look at them in the future. But until then, everyone have a great weekend, a great rest of the week, a happy 4th of July. We will see you after the holidays.
What are you doing 4th of July? Go.
If it's not smoky outside, probably going to my neighbors to grill.
But you're not going to be the one that grills.
I'm not going to grill because I set my house on fire last time.
That's right. You're going to get back on that horse and set it on fire again? Like, let's
Set it on fire, boys.
grill. Like, just this the pellet. I was thinking about that the other day. I'm like, you don't have to get briquettes or anything like that. We can get you a pellet grill and.
Oh, I'm a walking, talking fire hazard. So,
hey, okay, maybe you'll be a baker someday or something like that, like baked goods. You do like pie?
you like
Coming
pie?
for you?
You like
Do
pie?
you like pie?
Yeah.
Paige likes pie.
There you go.
Done.
Awesome. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching.
Yeah.
We'll see you next week.
Awesome.
If you've tuned in this long, you probably hate us. So.